Imagine holding a small piece of metal. It feels cool and heavy in your hand. This isn't just a coin, it's a time machine. It's a tiny spaceship that has traveled through centuries of history. This coin carries the story of a nation. It has seen kings and queens. It has survived wars and revolutions. It has been held by merchants, soldiers, farmers, and children. In this small object, we can see the rise and fall of empires. We can trace the journey of ideas and the flow of power. We are about to embark on a journey through time, exploring the universe of Polish coins. These metal discs are more than just money. They are storytellers, silent witnesses to history. Each one is a snapshot of its time. The images stamped upon them tell us about the people who made them. They show us their beliefs, their ambitions, and their art. The metal itself tells a story of trade and technology. Where did the silver come from? How was it mined and purified? How was it shaped into these perfect circles? The history of Polish coins is the history of Poland itself. It's a story of struggle, survival, and incredible resilience, all captured in these small, shining objects. Think about the vastness of time. Poland's history stretches back over 1,000 years. Through all that time, coins have been there. They were a constant presence in a changing world. They paid for the construction of great castles. They bought food for families during harsh winters. They were hidden in the ground, waiting for future generations to discover them. For an American viewer, this history might seem distant, but the human story it tells is universal. It's a story of building a society, creating an identity, and leaving a mark on the world. It's a story we can all connect with, right in the palm of our hand. Our journey will take us from the ancient world to the present day. We will start when Roman denarii flowed into the lands that would become Poland. We will witness the birth of the first Polish coins, crude but powerful symbols of a new kingdom. We will travel through the golden age of the Renaissance when art and wealth flourished. Then we will move through times of trouble and rebirth, right up to the modern coins you could find in Warsaw today. Prepare to look at these simple objects in a new way. They are not just currency. They are portals to another time, another place. They are fragments of a national cosmos. Long before Poland existed as a kingdom, its lands were a crossroads. Great trade routes crossed this territory. One of the most important was the Amber Road. Merchants traveled from the Roman Empire in the south to the Baltic Sea in the north. They were seeking amber, a beautiful golden resin. The Romans called it the gold of the north. To pay for this precious material, they brought their own money. These were Roman coins, mostly silver denarii. They were the first coins to circulate widely in the lands that would one day be called Poland. Imagine a Roman merchant, thousands of miles from home, trading these coins for amber. These Roman coins were powerful symbols. They carried the portrait of the emperor. This was a new idea for the local tribes. It showed them a world of organized power and vast empires. The coins were made of precious silver, a sign of wealth and stability. Finding these ancient coins today is like finding a message from a distant star. Archaeologists have uncovered large hoards of them, buried for nearly 2,000 years. These hoards tell us about the scale of trade. They show us where the major routes were. They prove that this region was connected to the wider world long before its own history was written. The designs on these coins were a form of propaganda. They showed images of victory, gods and goddesses. They spread the message of Roman power across the continent. For the people living in ancient Poland, these coins were more than just money. They were exotic, fascinating objects. Some were likely melted down and remade into local jewelry. Others were kept as treasures, symbols of status and connection to the powerful South. The coins were a physical link to a civilization that was shaping the future of Europe, even in these remote northern lands. They were the seeds from which a new understanding of currency would grow. So, the story of Polish coins doesn't start with a Polish king. It starts with a Roman emperor. It starts with the unstoppable force of trade and the human desire for beautiful things. These Roman denarii and later Byzantine and Arab coins flowed into the region for centuries. They prepared the ground. they introduced the very concept of a standardized, portable form of wealth. They set the stage for the moment when the first Polish ruler would decide to create his own money. The echoes of Rome were the first notes in the long and complex symphony of Polish coin history.
The year is 966. A powerful ruler named Mieszko I unites the Polish tribes. He accepts Christianity. A new nation is born. To be a true European ruler, you needed two things: a church and your own coins. Mieszko I understood this. Sometime in the late 10th century, he ordered the creation of the first Polish coins. These were silver coins called denarii. They were small and thin, much like other coins in Europe at the time, but they were special. They were Polish. This was a declaration of sovereignty. It was a statement to the world. We are here, we are a kingdom, and we have our own money. These early coins were simple, almost crude. The technology was basic. A piece of silver was placed between two dies, which were like metal stamps. Then it was struck with a heavy hammer. The designs were not very detailed. One of the most famous early designs shows a simple building with a cross on top. This likely represents a chapel or a church symbolizing Poland's new Christian faith. On the other side, there might be a simple cross or the name of the ruler, written in Latin letters. The name Mysico can be seen on some of these first coins, a ghostly whisper of the nation's founder. The next great ruler, Bolesław the Brave, took coin-making to a new level. He was the first Polish king to be officially crowned. His coins reflected his ambition. He minted beautiful denarii with more complex designs. One famous coin shows a bird, probably an early version of the Polish eagle. This is one of the first appearances of a symbol that would represent Poland for the next 1,000 years. Another of his coins boldly labels him Princess Polonii, or Prince of Poland. He was using his coins to send a clear political message. This wasn't just money, it was a proclamation of his power and his nation's identity. The material for these coins was silver. It was the standard for currency across medieval Europe. The silver might have come from mines in nearby Bohemia or Germany, acquired through trade or tribute. The value of the coin was based on the weight and purity of the silver it contained. This was a time before complex economies. A coin was worth the metal it was made of. These early denarii were not just for grand political statements. They were used in daily life to pay soldiers, to buy land, and to trade for goods. The eagle had taken its first flight, and its silver wings were beginning to spread across the new kingdom.
As we travel forward in time, we arrive at the 16th and 17th centuries. This was Poland's golden age. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was one of the largest and most powerful states in Europe. Its economy was booming, and its coins reflected this newfound wealth and confidence. The simple silver denarii of the past were joined by a whole family of new coins. There were silver gross, larger and heavier than the dinar. And for the first time, Poland began to mint its own gold coins in large numbers. These were called ducats, or Złoty, which means red gold. The designs on these Renaissance coins were masterpieces of art. No more simple crosses or crude birds. Now, the coins featured incredibly detailed, realistic portraits of the kings. Rulers like Sigismund I the Old and Sigismund II Augustus appeared on coins looking like Roman emperors. They wore armor or royal robes. The artists who designed these coins were some of the best in Europe. The coins were no longer just currency. They were miniature sculptures. They were designed to impress. They showed the world the power, sophistication, and artistic glory of the Polish crown. The royal eagle on the reverse was now majestic and detailed, a proud symbol of a confident nation. This era also saw the introduction of very large, impressive silver coins. The most famous of these is the talar. Talars were the dollars of their day, big silver coins used for international trade. A Polish talar minted in Gdansk or Torun could be spent anywhere in Europe. These coins show not just the king's portrait, but also beautiful, complex cityscapes or coats of arms. They are like tiny windows into the bustling, wealthy cities of the Commonwealth. Holding a talar from this period feels like holding a piece of pure power and prosperity. It speaks of a time when Poland was a major player on the world stage. But it wasn't all gold and large silver. The economy needed smaller coins for daily transactions. So the mints also produced a variety of smaller silver and copper coins. There were the gross, the trojak, which is 3 gross, and the sostak, which is 6 gross. This variety of denominations shows how the economy was becoming more complex. People needed different types of coins for different purposes. The system was becoming more like the monetary systems we know today. The Renaissance was truly a golden age for Polish coinage, a time when art, wealth, and national pride were minted together in shining metal. In our cosmic journey through Polish money, it's easy to be dazzled by the big, shiny objects. The gold ducats and the heavy silver talars are like bright, massive stars. They grab our attention. But to truly understand this universe, we must also look at the smaller bodies. The tiny, humble coins used for everyday life. These were the coins of the people. They were used to buy a loaf of bread, a handful of vegetables, or a cup of ale. In every era of Polish history, from the Middle Ages to modern times, small denomination coins have played a crucial role. They are the dust and asteroids of the monetary system, but without them, the system would collapse. Let's go back to the beginning, to the medieval dinar. These coins were already quite small, about the size of a modern dime, but much thinner. As time went on, rulers sometimes needed to make even smaller coins, or they would lower the value of the currency by putting less silver in it, making the coins smaller and lighter. Sometimes to make a half dinar, they would simply cut a dinar in half. These tiny, irregular pieces of silver were called bracteates. They were so thin that they could only be stamped on one side. They are some of the most fragile and delicate coins in Polish history, like faint whispers from a distant past. The 17th century brought one of the most famous small coins in Polish history, the boratynka. The Commonwealth was fighting costly wars. The treasury was empty. The king's government came up with a clever but unpopular idea. They would mint huge numbers of small copper coins called zelongs. These coins had the king's portrait on them and were declared to be legal tender. However, the value of the copper in the coin was much less than its official value. People were forced to accept them, but they didn't trust them. The man in charge of the project was Titus Livius Boratynki, so the coins were nicknamed Boratynki. Billions were minted, flooding the economy. These tiny coins tell a story of economic hardship. They represent times when the state was struggling. During the partitions of Poland in the late 18th century, when the country was divided between its neighbors, small coins were issued by the occupying powers. Later, during World War I and II, occupying forces and provisional governments issued their own small change. These coins, often made of cheap metals like zinc or iron, are powerful reminders of dark times. They show a nation fighting for survival. These tiny treasures, the boratynki, the zinc rosy, are not glamorous, but they offer us one of the most intimate views of history, showing us the reality of daily life for ordinary people. Every coin has a story. Some stories are grand tales of kings and battles, but others are strange, curious, or even tragic. These are the whispers from the past that make coin collecting so fascinating. Let's listen to a few. One of the most curious stories comes from the 17th century, during the reign of King John II Casimir. His kingdom was in chaos, a period known as the Deluge. The treasury was empty. To pay his soldiers, he needed money desperately. The solution was the timf, a silver coin with a face value of 30 grossi. The problem was, the timf only contained about half that amount in silver. People knew they were being cheated. A Latin inscription was placed on the coin, Dat pretivum servata salves potiorque metallo est. This means the desire to save the country gives it its value, which is greater than that of the metal. It was a patriotic appeal. But people were cynical. They joked that the initials of the king, ICR, Ioannis Casimirus Rex, actually stood for Initium Calamitatis Regni, meaning the beginning of the kingdom's misery. The coin itself became a symbol of the state's decline and desperation. Another fascinating story involves a coin that was never meant to be. In 1925, the newly independent Second Polish Republic planned to introduce a new Złoty coin. A beautiful design was created by the artist Mieczysław Kotabinski. It showed the Polish eagle on one side and a stunning stylized portrait of a woman on the other. This woman was said to be a personification of Poland, much like Lady Liberty in America. The design was modern and elegant. However, for political and economic reasons, the design was rejected at the last minute. Only a handful of trial patterns were ever made. Today, this 1925 Polish Nike pattern is one of the greatest rarities in all of Polish coin history. Finally, let's consider the coins of the Łódź ghetto during World War II. This is a dark and tragic story. The Nazi Germans sealed the Jewish population in a ghetto. They forced the Jewish Council, led by Chaim Rumkowski, to run it. This included creating a unique currency. Special coins and banknotes were produced, valid only inside the ghetto walls. The coins were made of cheap alloys like aluminum and magnesium. They featured the Star of David. These coins are haunting artifacts. They represent a desperate attempt to create a semblance of normal life in the most horrific of circumstances. They are not treasures of gold or silver, but they are among the most powerful and important coins in Polish history.
Imagine a nation erased from the map. At the end of the 18th century, Poland was partitioned. It was carved up by its powerful neighbors, Russia, Prussia, and Austria. For 123 years there was no independent Polish state, and for 123 years there were no official Polish coins. The currencies of the occupying empires circulated instead. Russian rubles, German marks, and Austrian kronen became the daily money. But the idea of Poland and the idea of its currency, the Złoty, did not die. It went into hibernation, waiting for the right moment to reawaken. That moment came in 1918. After World War I, Poland was reborn. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the nation re-emerged on the map of Europe. One of the first tasks of the new government was to create a new currency. The country was flooded with different types of old money. The economy was in chaos. In 1924, the government introduced the new Polish Złoty. The name itself was a link to the past, to the Czerwoni Złoty of the Golden Age. The new coins were a powerful symbol of independence. They featured the crowned eagle, a defiant statement that Poland was a sovereign kingdom once more. The coins of the Second Polish Republic from 1918 to 1939 are beautiful. They blend traditional symbols with modern Art Deco style. There were bronze gross coins for small change. There were nickel and silver Złoty coins for larger values. One of the most famous and beloved designs is the silver 2 Złoty coin, featuring the head of a woman in a scarf surrounded by ears of grain. This image, a personification of Polonia, represented the nation's agricultural wealth and the beauty of its land. These coins circulated for only 15 years before disaster struck again. In 1939, Germany and the Soviet Union invaded, and Poland was partitioned once more. World War II began. During the war, the German occupation authorities issued their own coins for use in Poland, made of zinc and iron. After the war, Poland found itself under Soviet influence. A new communist government was installed. They issued new coins, but something was missing. The eagle on the coins no longer wore its crown. The removal of the crown was a potent symbol of the loss of full sovereignty. For the next 45 years, the crownless eagle would be a silent reminder of Poland's political situation. The Złoty had survived, but it was changed. The year 1989 was a turning point. The Berlin Wall fell, the Iron Curtain lifted. Poland peacefully transitioned away from communism and became a free democratic republic. And, one of the first things to change was the coin. The crown returned to the head of the eagle. This was a hugely significant moment for the Polish people. It was a simple change on a small piece of metal, but it symbolized the restoration of national pride and independence. The eagle, uncrowned for nearly half a century, was whole again. This newly crowned eagle has appeared on all Polish circulation coins ever since. However, the early years of the new republic were marked by massive inflation. The old złoty lost its value. Prices skyrocketed into the millions. In 1995, the government performed a redenomination. They introduced the new złoty. One new złoty was worth 10,000 old ones. This stabilized the economy and created the modern currency system Poland uses today. The coins now in circulation range from the 1 grosz to the 5 złoty. The smaller coins are made of brass and copper nickel. The 1, 2, and 5 złoty coins are bimetallic, with a golden-colored ring and a silver-colored center, or vice versa. Today's Polish coins are elegant and modern. The crowned eagle remains on the obverse, the head side, of every coin. The reverse, the tail side, shows the value, decorated with simple stylized leaves. They are functional, durable, and easily recognizable. But Poland also has a vibrant tradition of issuing commemorative coins. The National Bank of Poland regularly releases special edition coins to celebrate important historical figures, events, and cultural achievements. These are often made of silver or gold and feature stunning, artistic designs. They are highly sought after by collectors both in Poland and around the world. What does the future hold? Poland is a member of the European Union. This means it has the option to adopt the euro as its currency. The debate over whether to join the eurozone is ongoing in Polish society. If Poland does adopt the euro, the złoty and its crowned eagle will be retired from circulation. It will be the end of a monetary story that began over 1,000 years ago. For now, the złoty remains. It stands as a symbol of Poland's unique identity in its long independent journey. It is a modern currency for a modern European nation, but one that still carries the weight of its incredible history.
We have traveled across a vast expanse of time. Our journey began with Roman traders on the Amber Road. We witnessed the birth of a nation with Mieszko's first crude denarii. We saw the glory of the Renaissance in golden ducats and the desperation of war in tiny copper boratinki. We felt the pain of a nation partitioned and the joy of a nation reborn. We have seen a crown disappear and then reappear. All of this history, this entire national saga, is contained in these small metal discs. Polish coins are not just money. They are a physical record of the Polish experience. For an American, whose nation's coinage history is less than 250 years old, the depth of this story is immense. It connects the present day directly to the Middle Ages. The eagle on a modern Polish coin is a direct descendant of the bird stamped on Bolesław the Brave's dinar a millennium ago. This continuity is powerful. It speaks to the resilience of a people and a culture that has endured unimaginable challenges. Each coin is a chapter in this epic story. Holding one is like shaking hands with the past, with the kings, artists, soldiers, and everyday people who held it before you. The designs, the metals, the very existence of these coins tell us so much. They are a timeline of art, from medieval simplicity to Renaissance grandeur to Art Deco elegance. They are a map of economic history showing periods of wealth, trade, inflation, and poverty. Most importantly, they are a testament to identity. In times of freedom, Polish coins proclaimed sovereignty to the world. In times of occupation, the memory of them and the symbols they carried helped keep the idea of Poland alive. They are more than currency. They are portable monuments. So the next time you see a foreign coin, pause for a moment. Think about the universe of stories it might contain. The history of Polish coins teaches us that these everyday objects are among the most profound artifacts we have. They are the autobiography of a nation, written in silver, gold, copper, and bronze. They tell a story of struggle, of beauty, of survival, and of unbreakable spirit. It is the story of Poland, a journey minted for eternity, ready to be discovered by anyone curious enough to look. The cosmos, after all, can be found in the smallest of things.